Around the Ozarks in 5, brought to you by the Butterfly Palace. Have the best day ever at the Butterfly Palace. The Springfield Greene County Park Board reminding you to go play, and Roto-Rooter Plumbing and Drain Service. Call Southwest Missouri's best plumber today for a free estimate. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Well, hello there. Happy Tuesday to you. It is Giving Tuesday, as they say, right?
Giving Tuesday today, Cyber Monday yesterday, which I don't know if we greeted people yesterday morning with the fact that it was Cyber Monday, but I guess everyone got it figured out because I don't know about your email, but mine was like filled with Cyber Monday, you know?
Yeah, I think I found, it seemed like there were a lot of good deals this year. I don't know if it seems like more than normal. Better deals on higher quality items.
Maybe. I don't know.
Anyway.
I'm not much of an online shopper, but I will say taking the girls Black Friday shopping, I ended up doing more Christmas shopping earlier in the season than I ever have.
Yeah.
Literally ever. So
it had been a long time since you actually were out doing the shopping on a Black Friday, right?
Right. True.
Yes. You used to cover it all the time when it was a bigger deal.
And it was a good time. It was always a good time.
I know. You enjoyed it.
Yeah. I did. I had so much fun. They'd be like, "Hey, you need to be at work by 2:30." I'm like, "Awesome. Where are we going?" You know?
Because you like the characters. It's fun to meet up the characters, right?
Yeah. And if you were, let us know in the comments if you were the diehard Black Friday shoppers, because listen, you're a character, and I mean that in the most endearing way, but you were a character and I interviewed you and it was great television. It made for great television.
Probably all wore matching sweaters.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like family sweaters, walkie-talkie, breaker 19. I'm in the toy aisle. I mean, seriously, like people had strategy. I miss those days, to be honest with you. Yeah, I wanted the girls to get the feel, and no, they didn't get the feel. I mean, they had fun. Glad we went.
Well, but you let them sleep in. You didn't get them up early and do the whole thing.
Well, sleep in, that's a relative term. So I don't even know what that means, but okay. Now to the news. Here we go. Springfield man is jailed accused of assaulting a Springfield police officer. 3 officers were called to Bass Pro Shops because 3 people were stealing. 2 of them were arrested. The third was spotted outside by one of the officers. As the officer was moving to arrest him, the guy pushed him and ran off. Officer caught up with him, and he hit the officer several times, injuring his left arm. The officer was able to tase him and then arrest him. And the officer was later diagnosed with a fractured shoulder. Wow. Otherwise, all ended well. Wow. Fortunately, that didn't go worse than that. Now to this, Springfield police thwarted a burglary of affordable towing this week. Officers arrested 2 people inside the building and 2 more outside. Police say they found items on some of the suspects that had been taken from that business.
Okay. You want to know about this as you're driving around town today and around the area, some bridge closures happening in Branson. The Branson Landing Boulevard Bridge and Business 65 Bridge will be closed over the White River both today and tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. each day. Now, here's the good news. The good news is that the closures, both of those bridges, will not be closed at the exact same time. The closures will alternate between them, so that's good. The Highway Department is doing repair work on those bridges today and tomorrow. Also out on the roads today, the eastbound lane of Battlefield Road is closed at Lone Pine, and southbound traffic on Lone Pine will be blocked. Road crews are working on pavement there, and if you've been in that area, it's seen a lot of road closures lately and lane closures as crews improve parts of Battlefield Road, part of a bigger plan.
I just wanted to laugh so hard. It's like you're a brand new news anchor because you just hit the word pine. Like instead of like Lone Pine, you hit Lone Pine and you like really enunciated it. And remember, like when you're first starting out in broadcasting, you would hit like a prepositional phrase or something. That's what it sounded like.
Hit the wrong word.
Ethan's new at this new television thing we got going on.
Sometimes I try to do new things, different things to see what the audience likes.
You put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
It's just something different.
That was really funny.
Some people prefer that. I'm just giving them what they want.
Sometimes I do that too. And then I think, is it worth correcting myself? Like, should I go back and hit the right word instead of the wrong one? Anyway, I wasn't sure what was going on, but you did it twice, 2 sentences in a row with the word lone pine.
Well, what was after it?
Sorry.
'Cause I was looking ahead.
I don't even know
sure.
why I'm laughing. Move on already. Here we go.
It's closed at Lone Pine, like that.
Yes. Yes.
It
It's
was
fun.
a buildup.
New anchor, you can tell they're new because they emphasize the wrong word in the sentence. That's how you know.
You've said that like
And you
5
don't
times.
know it unless you know it, but you know something is off. Anyway,
Right.
that's how it felt. Moving on. Air travel is back. Yes, it returned in a big way this past Thanksgiving weekend, specifically on Sunday. The United States set a new air travel record as the busiest travel day ever. How about that? TSA screened 2.9 million passengers. That's the highest number of people the agency has ever screened in one day.
You know what? That doesn't seem like all that many, to be honest. 3 million
2.9
people.
million in one
Well,
day.
3 million people out of 340 million people. Let's go 330 million people.
In the USA.
3
Is that
million?
right? Is that our
Yes.
new population? Stand by. Keep talking.
It's 330, something like that. But that doesn't seem like that many out of that big a number, to be honest.
You're
I mean,
right.
it seems like
332 million is the population of the US. Nice work, Mr. Forhetz.
Yeah, there you go. So 333 and 3 million traveled. So 330 million did not. I don't know. I thought that number would be higher, to be honest, of people on the most traveled day ever. Only
Yeah.
3 million.
I think it's
All right.
interesting to set an air travel record. I mean, I know COVID is like over in that sense at airports, but still, I would have guessed higher numbers pre-COVID. But this is not pre-COVID. This is overall ever for U.S. air travel. Very interesting.
Well, yeah. People, COVID maybe made the numbers higher. People are ready to get out.
Yeah,
and travel.
perhaps. All right. Sticking with the airport theme, the Springfield Branson National Airport is getting a new fire truck, a big one. It will officially be dedicated tomorrow. The $1.3 million truck is called the Oshkosh Striker 3000 because it carries 3,000 gallons of water instead of the typical 500 gallons. The vehicle is the newest of 3 fire trucks specifically for aircraft fires. And by the way, there were 9 aircraft emergencies last year at the Springfield Branson National Airport.
Not necessarily fires, but emergencies.
Right. I mean, and there were some more incidents than that, like medical related and whatnot, but 9 aircraft emergencies. But yeah, I guess not necessarily all fires either, but responses nonetheless.
Well, maybe you'll get a look at that new fire truck. Hopefully, it's not while you're landing, because the last thing you want to do, and has that happened to you before?
Yeah, it's happened to me. It actually not in Springfield, but in Dallas fairly recently. I was alarmed because I saw the fire and I'm like, does anybody else see the plane on fire out there? Is there there's a million people and it's like no one else is standing at the window watching the plane burn except for me. And I know enough about, from being a reporter that there's often drills, and apparently it was one. And so they meant to light it on fire.
So you were sitting at the airport looking out the window and you saw a plane on fire?
Yes, in Dallas last time I was flying through, and it turned out to be a drill. But normally when it's a drill, like I don't ever remember it being that out of control. I guess the point was like to let it get completely out of control so that they could then contain it. But it was just strange because nobody else was looking at it with me. Like finally I went up to the desk. I'm like, hey, did you know that there's a plane on fire out there? And they were like, yeah, moron. I'm like, great. Okay, thanks. And then I just walked on. But nobody else was looking. How can you not watch a plane burning? You know what I mean?
That's true. I would watch that. I was in college. When I was in college one time, I was flying from St. Louis out to Las Vegas with my buddy. And there was some sort, it's always a red-eye flight because it's cheaper. There was some sort of emergency with the plane. We had to make an emergency landing in Arizona on our flight. And when I looked out the window down toward the runway, there were fire trucks and
oh man,
emergency vehicles with lights on lining the runway.
Yikes.
which is a little disconcerting, to be honest.
Yeah.
But so I said my prayers, and here I am to tell about it years later.
Yeah. So sorry to derail today, but did you see the video of the woman who had like a meltdown on Frontier Airlines?
Oh, no.
Oh, man. It was pretty wild.
Who's she yelling at?
No. Well, I mean, there was another woman who jumped up and was like, this lady's possessed. This lady has the devil in her. And then she started preaching down fire from heaven. And all the passengers were like captivated because she was speaking with an anointing and authority. Meanwhile, the woman who, I don't know what was going on. I mean, maybe she was possessed. I don't know, but it was nuts. Anyway, look it up. It was in the news like 2 days ago. You'll find it. It was crazy. It was the equivalent of the wing on fire. I'm telling you that right now.
Give us one thing that she was doing. What was she doing?
The way that she was like yelling, but the way she was yelling, and then she started climbing over the seats. So, there's only this much space between your headroom and the top of like where the luggage rack would be on top of you. And she was crawling on top of the seats. But it was mainly her voice. Huh?
Over people's heads?
Yeah, it was going from Houston to Denver, and they had to make an emergency landing in Dallas.
Yeah, they need to zip tie her.
Yeah. It was pretty wild. Anywho, sorry. Carry on.
Well, we mentioned at the top of the broadcast that today is Giving Tuesday. Of course, a day set aside to give nonprofits who do so much good for our communities. This year, a new twist on Giving Tuesday is set up at the Battlefield Mall. It's a vending machine called Vend the Gift of Hope. Instead of send, vend. Cool. It's been a years-long project. Yeah. I didn't do it. It's been a years-long project by the founders of Hertz Donuts, Tim and Cass Clegg. It benefits Convoy of Hope is one of them. So another place is Man Up and Go. So two organizations. You can purchase gifts starting at just $3 and then give them in somebody else's name or however you want to do it. Tell the person that you bought it. You buy the gift and then we send it to a recipient, and you tell a recipient that you want to give the gift that you have done this in their name. Did I explain that at all? It's hard to explain. Thank you. You'll find the Vend the Gift of Hope machine at the Battlefield Mall. It's near Santa and the Dining Pavilion through December. And tonight at 7:00, I believe I'll be there for this. That Tim and Cass are having like a grand opening celebration for it. But I've already heard from people who've used it and who purchased gifts through the vending machine. So it's a really, really neat idea. It's a great way to just share kindness and spread kindness.
Yeah, that's awesome.
This Christmas season.
Yeah. And I know Tim and Cass, not super well, but they're pretty amazing. So
they are great. Absolutely.
Okay. If you like candy, speaking of gifts, you can go buy some candy for a gift if you'd like. Now in Ozark, there's a big new shop open. The grand opening is today. In fact, it's located inside the Signal gas station, right there where Quiznos once was, inside the gas station. So Quiznos is gone. It's being replaced with what's called the Sugar Stop Candy Shop. You can buy candy by the pound, kind of like you would at like a candy store in the mall or something. You can buy it in lesser quantities as well, if you'd like. The owner says with Lambert's right next door there in Ozark that it seemed like a good fit, a good place to go for that location. They will sell chocolates, gummies, bubblegum, saltwater taffy, fudge, and nostalgic candies.
Okay. What's more nostalgic than saltwater taffy? Maybe some of those butterscotch hard candies. My grandma always had hard candy.
So did mine. They weren't the Werthers either.
No.
Is it Werthers? Is that
Werthers.
They weren't that. They were just like the yellow hard candy.
Yes. Yeah. Butterscotch. I don't know why older people liked butterscotch so much. I wonder if they still do.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you?
Hilarious.
That was funny.
Hilarious.
Also, my grandma ate lemon drops.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember those?
Lemon drops. I do. Out of the box. Those boxes.
I think it was in a red package, but.
Oh, okay. Well, when I used to get lemon drops, they were in a box, a rectangle box.
That's fun.
Sunday was a monumental game for Kansas City Chiefs coach Andy Reid. He won his 125th career game as coach of the Chiefs. Pretty cool. He passed Hank Stram to achieve that milestone. The victory also means that he is the first coach ever in NFL history to win at least 125 games for two different teams. He won 130 games as head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, which is pretty impressive. He is quite a coach. Meanwhile, tickets go on sale tomorrow for playoff games that might be played at Arrowhead.
Playoff?
Single game. Huh? What are
I
you
was just
doing?
being your friend Ron. He says, playoff.
Oh, I couldn't hear you over me talking. Single game tickets for a possible AFC wildcard home game go on sale at 11 a.m. in the morning. You can buy the tickets on the Chiefs website. Of course, if the Chiefs win the rest of their games this season, which we all think they will earn a first round bye. So those tickets won't be necessary. But
I hope they do.
They go on sale nevertheless.
It's more fun to win. All right. Christmas is coming to Jeff City. The governor's Christmas tree outside the mansion is now in place. They are getting the decorations in place. The official tree lighting is Friday at 6 p.m. That tree was donated by a family from Boone County. It's always great. Okay. If you want some Christmas cheer a little closer to home, how about a trip to Marshfield? Marshfield is a good time. On Saturday, this Saturday, Marshfield is hosting Santa Claus, a Christmas parade, entertainment, cookies and cocoa with Santa, a Christmas market where you can buy things. Those festivities are pretty much all afternoon on Saturday. They last from 2 to 8 on the Marshfield Square.
Okay. Yeah, it's the Christmas season. Now Thanksgiving's over and it's all eyes on Christmas.
I know. I do love it. Did we do the story yesterday or did I just read it? Either I read it or maybe we did it on this broadcast, but Christmas apparently makes you feel better because it gives you like a shot of dopamine. Did we talk about this?
Yeah.
Isn't that so great seeing Christmas decorations? So anyway, there you go. It's all the reason to go to Marshfield this Saturday.
I think our kids, did our kids create a countdown, like a chain where you count down the days? Because Griffin was asking me yesterday how many days are left. I said, figure it out.
Typically they do. I haven't seen it this year. Normally it's hanging on the fridge. But I have had my own countdown clock going. Countdown clock to Christmas. Oh man. We're getting super close. 26 days. I guess I could have just figured that out by the calendar, right? But there you go. 26 days.
26 days.
Till Christmas. Yeah.
Pretty sure that isn't right.
Why do you say that?
Well, Christmas is on the 25th.
I know.
Today's we got 28, 29, and 30 left in this month.
Well, so but we're already on the 28th. So 25, 26, 27 days. There you go.
I don't know if that's right. But okay.
We're already on this day.
We can't do math. I could go 1, 2. I think that's
you
wrong.
guys. It's actually why I majored in political science and journalism is because I couldn't handle my math classes.
I can't. I was in. Listen to this.
I up here.
I was in I think junior high. Yeah, it was junior high. I was in the gifted program until pre-algebra, and then they kicked me right out of the gifted program because clearly. We made a mistake. Ethan, can you go back to your regular class?
Yeah, that's funny. In college, I went to what was called the MLRC. It was the Math Resource Learning Center. And I went every single day. I pretended because I had to keep like a 4-point. So I pretended like it was another class, but really it was a tutor.
Oh, to learn what you were supposed to learn in class?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's brutal.
There you go. But
Math
I passed.
Is the worst. Am I right?
I did it.
Well, here's what I won't tell the kids this. I probably will tell the kids this at some point, but because they're not good at math either. It just runs into
That's
genes.
not true. No, they're coming right along. They're coming right along. I don't receive that. We're going to have a mathematician.
How about this? Their career is not going to be math based. Can we agree on that?
True.
Okay.
That could be true.
So that's the point. And, I can do all the math I need to do to get by in life. Because there's machines. My phone will do all the math I need. Yeah. If I need to convert something to something, phone does it.
And our kids know how to shop at the grocery store. They look at the unit price, et cetera, et cetera.
And I
But
do
there's-
teach them, we do teach them things that matter, like counting change back to somebody, how to properly count change back. Although by the time they're old enough to have their own cards and stuff and bank accounts,
Yeah.
there will no longer be cash used, I'm sure.
No, when Caroline had a job interview, they asked her weakness, and that's what she said, that she was nervous about counting back change.
Yeah. It's
And
just
I'm
practice.
like, I get it. Yeah. But if I did it as a waitress, so can you.
I got to where I
And-
like doing it.
I know, me too.
I enjoy counting it back properly.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Gone are the days.
We'll end on that note.
Anywho, okay. Well, everybody, have a great Tuesday. Hopefully you
Yes.
give. Yes, give.
Be generous.
All right.
And we'll see
bye.
you tomorrow.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Scooters Coffee. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your Tuesday. It's November 28th, and it's cold outside. We have temperatures this morning either side of 20 degrees. Grab the thick coat. We have wind chill values in the low teens. It is going to be a cold start out there today, but a nice warming trend is on deck for us that we are going to experience by this afternoon. Today, I have sunshine in the forecast and temperatures back to near 50. So an impressive warm up considering where we're starting this morning. It's really a very cold start, as I mentioned. So 50 is pretty nice considering we're starting at about 20 this morning. It's a warming trend that's in our future. Today, high temperatures near 50 degrees. By tomorrow, I think we could be in the mid and upper 50s on Wednesday. Really a nice warm up for the middle of the work week forecast, but things are starting off rather cold for us first thing this morning. Make sure you have the big thick coat on early today. It's one of those days that you might want to dress in layers because I don't think you need the thickest coat you have by this afternoon. We get this westerly breeze out there. That's what we have this morning. It's about 10 miles an hour. That's what's putting the wind chill values in the low teens. But the winds, well, they're going to calm down a little bit for us. And as the sunshine warms our temperature up, the afternoon ride home from school won't be nearly as bad as the cold one on the way to school early this morning. We've got dry and warmer weather in the forecast through about Wednesday. And then by Thursday, our next cold front is going to be marching through the Ozarks. It is likely going to mean that we see temperatures that are going to be a little bit cooler again by the end of the week. And there's also a rain chance that returns for us. This happens by Thursday and Friday. Rain chance at this point looks best for our southeastern counties, areas south of I-44. Nice little soaking downpour, though, possible with nearly a half inch of rain on the way. It's going to hold off, though, until late this week. High temperature today, about 50. Tonight, not as cold as we have been. I have a low temperature falling back near the freezing point. Waking up on Wednesday at 32. That will allow us to warm up into the upper 50s on Wednesday, which will be the warmest of the forecast. If you need a day this week to get out or you didn't get all the Christmas decorations hung up, pick Wednesday. It's going to be the nicest to get out and enjoy the more mild temperatures. And then by Thursday and Friday, that next frontal boundary comes through, and I think it clears the area by the weekend, so we should be dry again by the weekend. Around the country, what's making headlines, this heavy lake effect snow up in the Great Lakes, that's coming to an end early in the day today, but our friends to the north have already seen a couple rounds of winter weather so far. I expect that we will see below average temperatures for much of the country. This is true not only from the Great Lakes, where they're seeing that heavy snow, but also through much of the East Coast and the southern United States. With a little bit of burst of cold and winter air heading toward Texas. That's going to stretch all the way through Florida today and through the middle of the week. We've also got much of the nation that will be dry across the region for the next 2 days. And then it's that next frontal boundary that brings rain chances for us. Well, it's going to bring some likely some precip chances to much of the Midwest as we head into the middle of the week as well. All right, it is time for your Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister question this morning, sponsored by Scooter Coffee. Here's the question that I left you with yesterday. The first Nobel Prize in Physics was awarded in the year 1901 for which discovery? And the options that I gave you were A, X-rays, B, quantum gravity, C, black holes, or D, the expansion of the universe. Apparently people knew this one. A lot of correct guesses here. A, X-rays. The answer, Invaluable. Those x-rays, we're still using them today. That was the first Nobel Prize in physics, happened in 1901. So congrats if you chose x-rays. A, the answer. All right, here is the next question that I have for you. I'll have the answer tomorrow morning on Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather. What is the best selling Christmas song of all time? Do you think it is A, White Christmas, B, All I Want for Christmas Is You, C, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, or D, Silent Night? You don't have to pick your favorite. You have to pick which one you think is the best selling Christmas song of all time. I will have the answer for you. That's early tomorrow morning on Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather. In the meantime, stay warm today. We've got a high temperature near 50 degrees this afternoon, and I'm expecting that we're going to keep a pretty light wind in the forecast all day. I have numbers that are going to be back to near freezing for that low temperature tonight, and then tomorrow we're back at 57 degrees. You can get your forecast information all day long. Check it out at aroundtheozarks.com. And if you don't already, don't forget to subscribe and review us. If you enjoy what you're hearing, you can do that on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks so much for listening and have a fantastic day.